rich.
Nice. I'm glad you said that. Quinton King, everybody. Paul here, Music Villa, Bozeman, Montana. Today's a pretty good one, so I got a lot of specs to remember here in my mind here.
Yeah.
This is a brand new guitar from Taylor.
Hitherto unseen.
Never seen before.
Yeah.
This is a new body shape. This is a new everything. Okay, so we got a lot to pack in here. I want to keep it simple. I don't want to get too specky with everyone because I'm not a specky kind of guy anyway. But I'm going to give you the basics of this guitar. GT from Taylor. They call it the Grand Theater. Okay, with Taylor in their 300 series and up line, the American-made lineup of full-size guitars, they have a Grand Concert Body, GC. They have a GA, Grand Auditorium. They have a GS, Grand Symphony, and a GO, Grand Orchestra. Okay, those are the Taylor body shapes, and they have some the Grand Pacific, and they've come out with a lot of new stuff. This one is pretty cool, and where we're going to begin is let's start with the GS Mini. It's a wonderful guitar, been around now for quite a few years. It just changed the world. All you had before this was little tiny travel guitars, the little guys, the baby Taylors, right? Mm-hmm. This came out, boom. Everyone had to have one. It's wonderful. So where this guy fits in is it's one bigger than the GS Mini, okay? But it's still a little bit smaller than their smallest full-size guitar, which is the Grand Concert, okay? So this is in between the Grand Concert. Then we have the new one, the GT, the Grand Theater, and then we have the GS Mini. So,
it's good to have
one
options.
Other thing to make note of, the shape of this guitar is the same shape as their GO, which is the Grand Orchestra, their biggest guitar. It's the same shape shrunk down. Mm-hmm. Okay, where this guy, the GS Mini, is the same shape as their Grand Symphony, shrunk down. Okay.
Gotcha. So
you have to kind of know the Taylor lingo to understand what I just said.
I think the website has a really fantastic breakdown of all their body shapes.
Yeah.
I don't know if this will probably
be on there. By the time we launch this, you'll be able to see.
So if you really want to get down into what's the length of this bout versus depth, all those specific details. But I think relatively speaking, within the models, we've got an idea of where it fits. I've played the minis, I've played the full size, and again, it doesn't look like there's a significant difference there in the size, maybe a little bit in the depth, but what I can tell you is in the room, this guitar has more depth than you might think for its size. It's got some resonance. It's got a little bit of low end. Now we're not trying to compare it to Hummingbird or a D28 or 18 or something, but for this body size and what we expect from Taylor, this one has some present low end. It's not going to blow you away. It's not meant to blow you away, but you can feel it, which is cool.
It's in that parlor size guitar category. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the differences, okay? Mm-hmm. For instance, if you're looking at a GS Mini, okay, a little bit longer scale length, okay? Scale length, if you're not sure what that means, that's from the nut here to the saddle, okay? Mm-hmm. The overall scale length. I think I read in there, if you put a capo on the first fret of a regular scale Taylor, mm-hmm. that would be this scale length.
This scale length.
Yeah. So everything's kind of closer together. It feels lighter on a shorter scale length.
For sure. When there's a point at which it just gets a little clustery, but I like having my frets closer together.
Yeah,
and it's easier to navigate.
This scale length is a little longer than the GS Mini, but it's a little bit shorter than the Grand Concert. Okay. Then the other thing, let's talk about the nut width. It is same thing, exactly between 1 11/16 and 1 3/4. So, those are the two most kind of common.
Don't ask us to do the math there, whatever that.
I don't even go into the math part of it. I have it written down here somewhere.
It's halfway in between.
1:23 seconds. So, it doesn't really matter, but it is in between, the two most common nut widths. Mm-hmm. So, what else? Woods, urban ash on the back and sides. Urban ash is a sustainable wood. Southern California had some trees. They were going to remove them. Taylor took those trees, those ash trees. So it's wonderful wood, but it didn't. It was wood that was going to be
disposed of
somehow. And Taylor.
So this was a way to get strength value, like you said. What did this not so long ago? This guitar was a tree.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now
Mr. Barnwell.
Yep.
Yeah.
Spruce top. What's cool about the spruce top on this one is I love this. You can see
it's a very comfortable
rolled off
edges.
That's not binding. That is the top.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's the top of the guitar. Eucalyptus on the fretboard wood and the bridge, which is very nice looking.
I can breathe better. I feel like
I was wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a nice looking wood. I like it. Also, the case. You all know the Arrow case.
Yeah,
right?
that's
incredible case. We should look at
this. It's not often you would think that the case is a major selling point for the instrument, right? I mean, you want the instrument to sound good, to play good, and this does. But what I think puts this combination over the top is this case is so bomber.
It's a beast.
I mean, if you, it's very firm. You could. I'm not recommending you stand on top of it with your guitar in there, but if it feels sturdy enough that it would withstand a lot of
I think you could stand on it.
Force. And the nice thing is that depending on the kind of music you're playing, you've got a cajon in the case apparently. All right, so there you go. We're gonna go out after this video and put this hat down and see if we can make some money.
Do we want to talk about the pickup? This one has a pickup. You can get it with or without a pickup. Pretty standard. We can try that in the end. You can plug it in
I think I'll just plug it in and we'll just play a little bit. That's the nice thing about these guitars is that you're going to have a volume that is controlled by the physics of your acoustic instrument. But when you can plug it in, I mean, then kind of the sky's the limit. There's so much you can do in modeling and effects that you can dial in a tone that you wouldn't expect is capable if you're just limiting yourself to pure acoustic instruments. It's very pleasant acoustically, but what I'm saying is that you can turn this into a very present and you could dial in the tone the way you like it for a performance instrument.
And still, just so easy to travel with. One more note: the new bracing. Okay, they call it the C bracing. Okay. Taylor has the V bracing. This one is a new one as well. So this guitar was completely redesigned with a new bracing. From what I gather, looking in there, it's kind of like the V bracing, but it's
there's
like half of the
difference.
V.
Yeah.
Almost looks like a C. There's a part in there, and Andy has called it the cantilever bracing. And that's where the C comes from. Mm-hmm. We will look at photos of that as soon as this video is launched. I'm sure Taylor will show photos of the bracing. But it's designed in mind with this guitar and this body shape, which Andy does all the time. He creates a bracing pattern that matches the guitar. So somehow this guitar has great bass, nice punch, and Andy creates a bracing pattern that is best for this guitar.
He's not shoehorning in an existing pattern just because it's the design's available. It's really
correct.
No pun intended, tailored to the model.
Exactly.
That was completely not intentional. What I notice here, and I don't know, I'd have to go look, because I'm not a student of guitar architecture or how they're built and whatnot, but what I'm looking at is bracing almost looks like it's free-floating to a certain extent. It's not even...
Totally. It doesn't always go to the edges.
Right.
And that is a part of the plan. That's the beauty of Taylor and Andy Powers is... he creates it to match the guitar. Not every guitar needs the exact same bracing. Bracing is like, for most people, it's like, what? Why are we even talking about bracing? You don't even see it, but that is the new C bracing. And
well, I think, the V bracing demonstrates that, what's under the hood. Most folks are, they cue in on the visuals, right? What's the top wood? What's it look like? Side woods, these things. But what's under the hood does obviously matter a lot. In the Martin context, we talk about forward shifted and scallop bracing and these things. And the reason they're important is because they have a very significant impact on the tone that comes out of the guitar. Yep. And I think what Taylor's showing here is that these subtle changes to their bracing styles also can accentuate certain features of the tone and perhaps some other playability features of the guitar. So it's neat to see that they're still pushing the envelope, looking for perfection. What's going to work best?
Well, even new body shapes. Like I kept asking over and over for Taylor to make a nicer GS Mini because a lot of people requested it, right? Just a step up in quality on the GS Mini. Yeah. Well, actually, they did it. I mean, it's not much bigger, but that is, just a step up in the GS Mini. It's an all-American made, solid woods, incredible new body shape. I'm thrilled with it. I think that's going to be a home run. And
it's very playable. Yeah. Again, it's not a toy. It's not something that's like a kid's guitar. This is a real full-on professional level instrument in a smaller package, but with the versatility of onboard electronics. And we'll give you a sample of that at the end. But
all right, you want to do your thing here? That's it. The GT Grand Theater from Taylor. New guitar, new design, very exciting. Yeah. Oh, what we'll do, the next video, when we get them in, we will do some comparison. We'll let you hear this compared to the exact same woods type close up.
That's a great idea.
In the GS Mini and in the like a 312 or something like that. So we'll do some other comparisons, and you'll get to know where this kind of fits into the mix.
Yeah, thanks to Taylor for letting us have the opportunity to play
to demo it first.
Yeah.
All right, appreciate it. All right, everyone, thanks for watching.
It doesn't appear, just looking at the size comparison, that you would expect a big difference in the sound. Can we cut that out?
Let's cut that.
Son of a bitch.